everybody. So let's give people a few minutes. We got some big news. I don't want to say exciting because it's anything but exciting. You read the title, you know what this is about. I didn't think we would have a live tonight, and I didn't think this live would be about what it's about. So we got a lot to talk about, but we'll give people a few minutes to join. So much Walking Dead news. Yeah, Giuseppe, absolutely. We're going to go through the comments. I want to talk first. I want to share my thoughts first about this news. And for people who don't know, I'll tell you what it is about and we'll go through the details, guys. We'll talk about what the news is, what it means, not only for The Walking Dead, but for this channel. And we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to probably have a long discussion / Q&A for this live stream, but we'll give it maybe another minute for people to join and we'll dive right into it. Let me actually see if I can share this post that was posted. I will look at news articles as well. We'll go through those as well maybe a little bit, but I want to talk about the main breaking news article tweet that came in. So let me just share that bit of it. Let me see if I can. Actually, I think, let me do this. I'm just gonna screenshot it so it's easier. And I'm probably off screen right now. Give me a sec, guys. All right, so there it is. Let me see if I can make it any bigger. I don't want to block myself, so I'm just gonna put it right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm gonna come into frame. All right, so let me change this so I'm in frame. All right, so the big news for people who don't know what we're talking about. The Walking Dead just posted this tweet and everyone's talking about it. It's going everywhere. So they said breaking #Walking Dead will conclude in 2022. You heard it right, 2022, with an extended 24 episode 11th and final season. And in 2023, I got too excited. I don't know why, and in 2023, Angela Kang will return to helm a fourth #Walking Dead series starring Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride. And they have a link for the details, which we're going to also look at. But first things first. Holy crap, obviously. But, I mean, we've talked about the possibility that the show was going to come to an end. Season 12, 13. Who knew it would be 12 or season 11? It's actually not season 11 per se because it's 24 episodes. So it's extended, which is very, very interesting. Now, I have a lot to talk about there as well, but what does this mean? 11 or usually seasons are 16 episodes. So 24 episodes means we're going to get an entire season. Yeah, plus an additional 8 episodes. So it's we have a full season and a half. So the final season is going to be a full season and a half long, but it's going to be part of the same season. Now, first things first, I want to talk about. Like I said, we all thought it was going to be season 12 and 13, but the fact that it's season 11 is heartbreaking in a way because I don't know about you guys, but this channel, me, I've been so invested on the show that it feels like an eternity that I've been covering the show. So the fact that we only have they said 2022, right? So just another 2 years of the show, the main show, that breaks my heart. And at the same time, it's an end of an era in a way. So it's bittersweet though, because as much as I hate that the show is ending, I'm excited because of what's to come. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna end it. And I hope that they go out on a bang. I hope that they do the final season justice. I hope that the final season is sort of like how they handled Rick's final episode and Michonne's final episode. As much as I disagreed with some of the stuff for Michonne's final episode, I loved what they did. I loved that they gave fans what they thought fans wanted. Like they gave it all of their, or they gave it all they had. I hope the final season is like that. And so because of that, I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do for the final season. Now, here's where my other kind of bit of discussion comes in. 24 episodes, so a season and a half, that's good. That's good because the alternative would have been 2 seasons. So, you would have gone to season 12 like we kind of thought. But the bad part of that is that meant that we may get more bottle episodes and we may get more dragged out stories. So the fact that they said we don't want to have 2 seasons just for the the sake of having 2 seasons, and gave fans 2 seasons where one may not be the greatest. You know what I mean? I'd rather have 2 episodes or 2 seasons or one season and a half that is great than having 2 seasons where one season is just all right. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that they decided to have a season and a half instead of a full 2 seasons, but still treat it as a season instead, because it means that we're probably not going to get a lot of slow and bottled episodes. So because of that, that's awesome. The other part of it, what does this mean when we think about the comics? This probably means that the show is going to end around the same time the comics did, because we're like done season 10. So we have 1 season left, 1 season and a half if you want to get technical with it. So how much can they really cover in that time? So I think we're probably gonna get the end of the Whisper War, maybe end of season or in the finale of season 10, which we're gonna see in a couple weeks, and maybe in the first 1 or 2 episodes of season 11. And then they're gonna have the Commonwealth story, which I think they're gonna have to build up a little bit. So it's gonna take, let's say, 4 episodes for them to build that up and get it to where we kind of know all we need to know about the Commonwealth. And when we really get into the Commonwealth story from the comics, that's gonna take us maybe to episode 8 or maybe less than that, episode 6 of season 11. So then what are they gonna do for the rest of that? Well, we're gonna get not deep into Commonwealth stuff, like I said. I think we're just gonna scratch the surface when we get to episode 5 or 6. And then I think for episode 6 until episode maybe 8 or 9, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have the last 2 issues of the comics in that period of time. They're gonna extend that a little bit. They're gonna probably give us what we wanted to see in the final issue, which we didn't get to see. They might even stretch that a little bit more and have it go like, let's say, from episode 6 or 7 of season 11 all the way to, let's say, episode 12 or 13, something like that. Maybe even all the way to episode 16, when a regular season would be. And then what they can do is they can spend whatever time is left or whatever episodes are left after that to do 3 things. 1, finish off the comic storylines and make sure that there isn't anything from there that they haven't brought to the show. They can even remix it and bring some of the earlier stuff that they wanted to do that they didn't get to do in that time. The other thing that they can do around that time is kind of bring things full circle a little bit with Rick. Not bring him back because we still got the movies, but and we don't know when that's going to come out, but maybe have it so that there's a link between, or a sort of a link between the show and the movie, so that we follow some of the story in the movies, if that makes any sense. And the third piece of what they are going to need to do is build up the fourth spin-off that they mentioned with Daryl and Carol. So that gets me to my next point. What is that going to be all about? First thing I want to say, this means that neither Daryl or Carol is going to die ever, obviously, until obviously we get to the fourth season. So both are safe. So that's like a massive, you can say confirmation, you can say relief for most people. They're going to be fine. They have the thickest plot armor ever at this point. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing, is this really or is this fourth show going to be fan service? Are they milking it? I can't really answer that right now, but what can they really do with Daryl and Carol together? Just the two of them. They're going to probably need to bring in more characters, more stories. So it's going to feel like the same show, only with no one else, just Daryl and Carol. The other part of it is we don't know who else is going to go with them. Just because it's Daryl and Carol's show doesn't mean that no one else is going to join them. So in a way, is the show really ending? I mean, I don't know. But the other thing, Angela Kang is going to be show running it. So it's almost like the same thing. It's like season 9, season 10, but the focus of the story is going to be on Daryl and Carol. Just like the focus of the main show was on first Rick, then kind of Michonne, and Daryl and Carol. But they're going to just like concentrate all of that story towards just Daryl and Carol. And they might do something where they might do a lot of backstory for them or explain a lot of stuff from their past and things like that. But that's going to be in 2023. So a full year after 2022 when season 11 is going to end. So during that time, they're probably going to produce it. Like it's going to be the production for that. But also, I think within that time, we might see the first movie. Like the first movie might come out, hopefully might come out at that time. Hopefully it will be more than just the first one. Hopefully by that time we would have seen one of the movies and it would be the second. But that's everything I wanted to say. So I want to jump on questions and comments a little bit before we go into the... Oh, one thing I wanted to say before I jump into the comments. What does this mean for the show? Or not the show, sorry. So we talked about what this means for the show, as long as the main show is concerned. What about the other shows? Well, we know that World Beyond is 2 seasons. So by the end of season 11, we would have probably gotten all of World Beyond. And I can't really estimate exactly when we're going to see it because everything's been pushed back because of the pandemic. So it's really difficult to kind of precisely say where these episodes or where the seasons are going to lie. But hopefully by the end of 2022, when we get to the end of season 11, we're going to also have seen the first 2 seasons of World Beyond as well, which may tie into the movies like we think. That means that the only thing left is the 4th show and Fear. We don't know what they're going to do with Fear. Is Fear also ending? I don't know. But I think I wouldn't be surprised, let's just say that, if they come out with another news later on to say season 7 of Fear is going to be the final season, something like that. But if they don't do that, then obviously we're just going to have the 4th show, let's just call it the Daryl and Carol show, and the Fear the Walking Dead show. So we're going to still have those. Now, what does this mean for the channel? If Walking Dead ends after season 11, or when Walking Dead ends after season 11, what does that mean for the channel? Well, like I said, we still have Fear, and we still have the 4th show. So I'm going to cover those, obviously. I'm going to cover Fear more than I have been before because there isn't any other Walking Dead thing around. And I'm saying it like that on purpose because I wouldn't have kind of made fear one of the main things on the channel if we had The Walking Dead's original show and everything else. But other than Walking Dead, what else are we going to do on the channel? Well, that's where things get interesting, because on the channel, as you may have noticed, we've already kind of expanded. We're doing Breaking Bad. I'm going to continue that. Hopefully before season 10 comes around, or the end of season 10 comes around, we would be done Breaking Bad, but it might be pushed till after that. And then after that is done, I'm going to get into Better Call Saul, and I'm going to get into more shows. Now that doesn't mean I'm only going to do reactions to shows. Yes, we will do more reactions to more shows, but I will also be doing more discussions about other shows. What those shows are going to be, I don't know yet, but we're going to do more discussions. For example, let's just say Stranger Things. I'm not going to do discussions on Stranger Things, but that's just an example. I'm going to do discussions on Stranger Things, same as I do with Walking Dead. I'm going to talk about the trailers, I'm going to talk about news that comes out, everything like that. So we're going to do that for like maybe a show or 2 shows. We already have like 2 Walking Dead shows at that point, like I said, but I'm going to maybe add another 1 or 2 shows. Plus reactions I'm going to do to 1 or 2 shows as well. But then I'm going to start doing some movie reviews, movie discussions as well on the channel. So as you can see, we're expanding into more non-Walking Dead stuff. But I think for the time being, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We got till the end of 2022 for The Walking Dead, so we're going to still focus on Walking Dead until that time. And then when we get closer to the end of The Walking Dead's original show, that's when we're going to kind of break into some other stuff. And I'm going to bring in some of the stuff I talked about, which is the movie reviews, the movie discussions, the other show discussions, and breakdowns and things like that. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about before we kind of go into the chat. But after we talk about what's in the chat, the questions and comments, I'm going to go through the article link and see what they have to say there. I think just the little bit of text that was there was enough to have me talking for like a good 20 minutes. But with that, let's just dive into the comments and questions. And to do this efficiently, I'm only gonna read the comment if it's something that requires my answer or requires my thoughts, or something like that. So if you guys are just talking to each other, or if it's like something that doesn't really require an answer, I'm not gonna answer it, or I'm not gonna read it even, because I want to get through as many questions as we can. And comments and questions, and also I want to get to your live questions, because most of these are old at this point. But let me just adjust my camera. Let me take this away so you guys can see me. I'm gonna come closer a little bit. Okay, so let me just read the comments to myself, and if it's something I need to respond to, I'll read it out loud. Mario 3 kind of ugly, crying at the moment. Exactly. I was actually, I don't want to say shocked, but it took me back a little when I heard the news, for sure. Giuseppe, yeah, we read that one. So much Walking Dead news, absolutely. There is a World Beyond trailer that came out, like an extended version of the breakdown that I already did for it. I'm going to do that breakdown probably tomorrow at this point. I don't think I'm going to do anything else tonight. This is what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the night. Giuseppe, The Walking Dead isn't ending because we still have a Daryl and Carol show, and the Rick movies, and the Tales of the Walking Dead. Right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, absolutely. It doesn't feel like it's ending in a way. You're right, because of all of that. But yeah, the Tales of the Walking Dead, I forgot to mention that. They did also say that we're going to get Tales of Walking Dead. And what that means is stories about characters of the past. I think that's what it means, if I remember correctly. So it's like backstories in a way. Backstories for characters that are either no longer in the story, no longer with us, like dead characters or characters that were mentioned but we didn't really see them, something like that. But yeah, I'm absolutely excited about that as well. Tapping Junkie, I think they are just ending it in the sense that they just want to start from scratch without killing everyone. Yes, I think that's a big part of it. I think it's like, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but it's like doing what Fear did, like a soft reboot, but not soft rebooting it on the same show. Rebooting it, but in a way where it's a new show on its own. So that you're not going back to previous seasons and saying, it's not what it used to be, it's not this, it's not that. So they want to eliminate all of that talk. They just want to reboot, like a soft reboot, but an actual soft reboot. In a way where they end the show properly, and then they start something new. And they start fresh. Start from scratch, like you said. And yeah, I absolutely agree with that comment. Mario 3 first episode, Daryl is gonna, or Daryl's gone by. Last episode, years gone by. Perfect title for series finale. Let me see. First episode, you say the title is gonna, maybe, or could be, Daryl Gone By. Oh, Days Gone. I don't know why I read that as Daryl. I'm seeing things. You said Days Gone By. Sorry about that. Days Gone By, and the last title could be Years Gone By. I like the first title, Days Gone By. Actually, if it's a continuation of the rest of season 11 in a way, or the rest of the story in a way, then I don't know about Days Gone By, but I do get your point where they could do something to pay homage to the comics, like bring titles from the comics that were iconic or interesting titles. I do like that idea though. Tapping Junkie, only keep the characters that they really want. Yeah, like here's what I'm gonna say. I think obviously Daryl and Carol are gonna go to the fourth show. Negan might join them. He might not. He might get his own spin-off in a way. He might get like a movie or something. But other than that, I think, let me think. Who's around right now? Judith is definitely gonna go. I think it doesn't make sense for Judith to not go. Because, like, what would you do with Judith? You know what I mean? Unless you make Judith go to the movies somehow. That could be a possibility. So Judith maybe, most likely. Other characters that I think might go are Connie, Jerry, some of the fan favorites. But characters like, let's say, I don't know, people from Oceanside or also Ezekiel. Ezekiel might go as well with Carol. But characters like Oceanside members or some of the background characters, none of them are probably going to go. They're all going to probably be either killed off, moved to the movie somehow, or they might just like go on their separate ways. You know what I mean? Tapping Junkie, it's not really an ending, to be honest. Yes, it doesn't feel like an ending. I agree with you. In a way, here's what I think. You know how it's an ending? It's an ending because it's the end of the comic story. It's the end of Rick's story. I know Rick is not around right now, Michonne is not around, but Judith is. So I think as long as Judith is still in the story, in the main show, it's Rick's story. It's Rick's legacy that's going on. So once you lose Judith, because you don't have Michonne and Rick, it's no longer Rick's story. So I think that's why it's an end, in a way. And that goes back to my other discussion about why I think Judith is going to cross over to the fourth show. Because if it doesn't, or if she doesn't, then, the only thing that they could do with her, like I said, is for her to go to the movie. to continue the legacy, or they might kill her off on the show and have it be so that Rick's story has truly come to an end in a way. I don't think they're gonna kill her off though. Tapping Junkie, since they are gonna do a spin-off, since they're gonna do the spin-off, it's not really an ending. I agree. Giuseppe De Rosa, let me see. I just don't know how they're gonna end it without Rick. I mean, we're gonna probably do a lot of discussion videos about that when we get closer to that time, but how can they do it? Absolutely. How can they do it in a way that doesn't involve Daryl and Carol? Because if it's gonna be a comic story coming to life, you know what that means. So I'm not gonna say more, but you comic readers, you know what that means. So the only person that I think might be able to carry it is Ezekiel. And that's like, I hope they don't do that because it doesn't really do the story justice. But yeah, you're right. How can they do it without Rick? How can they end the story without Rick? That's great. That's a great question. And here's where they can get creative with it. Because even though the comic story is going to come to an end, like I said earlier in the stream, the end of the comic story is probably not going to be the end of the show story, if that makes any sense. Mario 3, it started with Rick and Morgan and it needs to end with them. That's another good point. Could we possibly see Morgan coming back to the same show and ending it because it started with Rick and Morgan? That's a possibility. But is Fear willing to let Morgan go? That's another thing to keep in mind. Giuseppe De Rosa, I hope Fear dies soon. It might not now because of the news we got. Because if Fear is not around, we only have one main show. Once they wanted once upon a time they wanted Walking Dead all year round. It's very interesting how that changed quickly. Even though we are kind of getting that for 2 years, but then after that it's like almost no Walking Dead or limited Walking Dead. We may have less Walking Dead than what we started with. The other part of it is we don't know how long the fourth show is. The fourth show might also be a limited series. We don't know if it's going to be like going on for like 5-6 seasons. It might be like 3 seasons. It might be 1 season. We don't know that information. Unless they do talk about it in the article, which we're going to read in a little bit. Tapping Junkie, Fear is going to be amazing this coming season. I hope so. I mean, I hope it's the greatest season ever. But if we're looking at past seasons, we don't have kind of high hopes. Or I don't have high hopes. Tapping Junkie, I don't know about you, but I'm so stoked for Fear Season 6. My hype level for Fear from a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, is 10 being the most hype I've ever been. It's probably like a 3 or a 4 if I'm being really honest. Giuseppe De Rosa, I never liked Fear. Yeah, actually, certain seasons I enjoyed. The thing with Fear is I never liked an entire season of Fear. I've only liked maybe half seasons. And that's not good, obviously. And I can only say that about The Walking Dead season 7 and 8. So that's what you need to know about that. Mega Ma TT1254 says, "Hi Ash, hey, how are you? Glad you could join." And the only reason I'm reading that comment is because I think you haven't joined the other streams. It's the first time, so I just wanted to welcome you. Giuseppe De Rosa, if it's the final season, they will probably take their time to make it. Absolutely, and that's exactly why it's 24 seasons. They want to take their time, but they don't want to stretch it. That's all it is. That's all the 24 episodes mean. Mario 3, I knew this moment would come and I haven't been prepared for it. Absolutely not. And here's what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, did they really have to release this in 2020? 2020 is already feeling like a cursed year. So they just had to drop this on us in 2020. They just had to do it. So yeah, I wasn't prepared for it quite yet. If you told me this like after season 12, that they're gonna have another maybe half, or after season 11, that they're gonna have another season and a half, like 24 episode season, I would have been like, sucks, but I kind of get it. But it's kind of too much in a way right now, like getting that information right now. But they what's the word I'm looking for? They held their end of the bargain in a way. They didn't lie to us. They did tell us that they're not going to do it like the comics where they're going to end it. Like all of a sudden end it. And they didn't do that. So I'm happy about that. And they said they wouldn't do it, so they didn't do it. Megama TT1254, this final season is going to be insane. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know a great way they could end it, and this is not my official prediction, but I think it would be super cool. And with someone like the bicycle girl, like a shot on their face. I know that's not how the season started, but or the teddy bear girl or something like that, where it's like, I don't want to say come full circle because that gets used all the time and people don't know what that really means, but they could pay homage to the pilot in a way, doing something like that. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash the Walking Dead is just going to get bigger. It's not ending. And that's the other part of it. What's going to be next? Yes, they said the fourth show, but I'm betting, I bet there's going to be more spin-offs. I can think of a Negan spin-off they could do. They could do a Negan movie. Like, they could do a spin-off for part of it, but they could do a Negan movie for other parts of it, if that makes sense. People who have read the Negan backstory and the Negan stories would know what I mean. But Negan is a character you could do something with. They might do a new spin-off. Who knows what they can do. But the main show as we know it will end. That's all this means, basically. Mario 3 Mothership show is ending, but the spin-offs will probably remain. Absolutely. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Mario 3, Daryl and Carol are staying for probably one season just so their contracts expired. They're still obliged for 3 years, I think. Yeah, that's the other part of it. After their contracts end, what's going to happen with them? Are they going to stay on the fourth show? Or are they going to leave? And if they leave, are they going to go to the movie if the movie's still going on at that point? Or are they going to get killed off? And that's why I said earlier they have a thick plot armor, but for the time being. When they get to the fourth show, then it gets a little interesting. I'm not saying they're going to die in the first episode or the first season of that, because that would be stupid, but I think if there's any time to kill Daryl and Carol, it's probably in the fourth show. Giuseppe De Rosa, you're missing World Beyond as well, and the Rick movie. Well, World Beyond, I did talk about it, I think, but World Beyond is 2 seasons only. So by the end of season 11, we're probably going to have seen both seasons. If not both, then a season and a half. You know what I mean? So there wouldn't be too much of World Beyond at that point. Yeah, I agree with that. I'll talk about that. The link that Mario shared, I'll talk about that. Um, Mario 3 World Beyond will end in 2022 also. Yeah, I thought so as well, but because of how everything's been shifted because of the pandemic, I wasn't too sure. Mario 3 Fear the Walking Dead is freestyle writing show they can do and however seasons they like. Yeah, sometimes it does feel like they're freestyling it, which is not good. Mario 3, yeah, share the photo, check the photo, probably the most hyped thing ever. The photo is a shot from the trailer of World Beyond where one of the characters, Hope, is looking in the sky and there's jets and the CRM helicopter coming in. Yes, absolutely. That was very interesting to see. I will do my breakdown of the trailer. I know I did like a breakdown already, but it seems like I was missing half the trailer in that. So I will be doing an extended, updated version of that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Mario 3, you can also show it on stream if someone can't enter. Oh, the photo? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let me bring it up. Give me a sec. For people who didn't see it, this is the picture. So there's Hope right there. There's the jets and the helicopter. You probably can't see my cursor, but you can see it on the screen, obviously. Yeah, thanks for that, Mario. Mario 3, I think Negan is dying in Season 11. If not, I would definitely make him do Here's Negan. Yeah, I mean, they can kill Negan in Season 11 for sure. But, well, there's two parts to this. One, it doesn't mean that there can't be a spin-off because the spin-off for Negan takes place in the past. And two, if they kill Negan off, that means that they're changing or they are going to do stories that are not in the comics. So, then we get to the discussion about how can they kill Negan, what's a worthy death for Negan, and things like that. And whether it makes sense to kill him, or does it make sense to have Negan stick around on the fourth show. Mario 3 or maybe Negan Lives. Yeah, so there's two parts. Negan Lives, Here's Negan. Here's Negan can be a spin-off. Or, sorry, Here's Negan can be a movie. Sorry. Here's Negan can be a movie, but Negan Lives can be a spin-off on its own because it continues. So if they kill Negan off, they lose that opportunity to do a spin-off with Negan. They can still do a movie with Negan, but not a spin-off. Mario 3, I'm more hyped for World Beyond than Fear at this point. Yes, exactly. Going back to my scale, like 1 to 10, my hype scale, I'm like, my hype scale for World Beyond, not just first season, but both seasons, is probably around 6 or 7. My hype level for seeing the end of the season 11 for The Walking Dead, or just seeing season 11 in general, is like an 8 or a 9 or even a 10. So, yeah. Giuseppe De Rosa, will there be a massive time jump? In the fourth show, there could be. Depends how they end the story in season 11. It really depends, but there could be. Giuseppe De Rosa, imagine it shows Rick in the end. That would be crazy. I think Rick is gonna have to show up, either in a flashback, in a hallucination, something. He's gonna have to show up in the final season. We can't have no Rick in the final Walking Dead season. That can't happen. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be okay with that. No way. I don't want him back because that doesn't make sense. But, or maybe it makes sense. I don't know. But we should see some Rick. Giuseppe De Rosa, if Negan dies, he will definitely be in the Tales of the Walking Dead. Absolutely. And that's the other thing. Here's Negan, if they're not going to do a movie for it or a spin-off, they can do that in the Tales. The Walking Dead Tales, or Tales of the Walking Dead. Mario, Rick has to come back, and I bet they will bring him back. They really need a lot of time to make it perfect. Yeah. They may even do something where Rick is back, but instead of going to the 4th show, his story continues in the movie. Something like that. I could be wrong about that, but... And there's the other piece of it, Michonne. What are they going to do with Michonne? Michonne is not dead. So what are they going to do with her? Is she going to pop up in the movie? Is she going to pop up in the 4th show? Maybe. Is she going to get a new spin-off on her own? Maybe. There's so many possibilities. Like we said earlier, they're really expanding the universe. I just spit on my camera. They're expanding the universe. Let me clean it for a sec. They're expanding the universe. Even though the main show is ending, they're expanding the universe. So there's a lot of things they can do with that. Mario 3 The Walking Dead World Beyond shows just how big a threat the 3-ring CRM group is. Yes, and here's the thing. How do we know that CRM is not gonna be in the story for the 4th show? They might not be the main part of the story, but they could show up. You know what I mean? As big as that threat is, as big as that organization is, it's realistic for them to show up in some fashion in the 4th show as well. Mario 3, this trailer totally confirms the villain of the rest of the Walking Dead universe, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a great point. I said it once, I say it again. World Beyond is just a backstory for The Walking Dead's biggest villain. The Walking Dead's main threat, main villain. That's all it is. Convince me otherwise. Alright, so now, let me open up. So give me a sec, because I'm going to be opening up the link and also sharing it so you guys can see it as well. At the same time, I want to also see comments, so I want to overlap things, right? There we go. Boom. Okay, so let me share it. Bear with me a sec here while I bring it up. Is that gonna work? That's probably not gonna work. Let me just share the window instead of the whole screen I have. Window capture. That's what I want. Okay, let me make it smaller. You're probably not gonna be able to see me, but that should be fine. Maybe you can see me. Maybe I don't want that though. I'm gonna do something. There we go. All right. So you can see my screen. I can even make it a little larger. And we can come back to the comments and questions that you guys post afterwards. Okay, so this comes from Skybound. I'm actually gonna turn off my camera so I don't eat the battery. The Walking Dead to conclude with extended 11th season in 2022. So this was in the tweet. So we talked about that for 25 minutes straight. So I'm going to read the article here. The Walking Dead, cable's most popular show based on Robert Kirkman's best-selling comic, will come to a close in 2022 with 24-episode 11th and final season. Chief Content Officer Scott Gimple said in a press release. Thanks, Gimple. I'm just kidding. It's been 10 years gone by. What lies ahead are two more to come, and stories to tell beyond that. What's clear is that this show has been about the living, made by a passionate cast, team of writers and producers. I don't know why they have the producers twice, but writers and producers and crew, bringing to life the vision put forth by Robert Kirkman in his brilliant comic, and supported by the best fans in the world. So this is a quote from Scott Gimple. Now, what can we talk about? There we go. What can we talk about for that? I mean, he didn't really say much. He's just saying that the story is going to continue and there's more stories to be told. That's all he's saying. And he's saying that, let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much all he's saying. And then he goes on to say, this will be a grand finale that will lead to new premieres. Evolution is upon us. The Walking Dead lives. So that's interesting. Leads to a new premiere. He's obviously referencing the fourth show, the premiere of the fourth show. But evolution is upon us. Is that a hint that that's going to be the title of the fourth show? Maybe. The Walking Dead lives. I don't like that title. If they do that title, I don't like that. That's cheesy, but I think it makes sense. He's saying The Walking Dead lives, we're not done, but for a title, I don't like that. But evolution is upon us, that's interesting. That leads me to think that maybe that's the title, but I could be wrong. Although this marks the end of the first series, The Walking Dead universe is far from over. Starting in 2023, Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang will return with Scott Gimple. So they're both going to showrun, which is interesting, to helm a spin-off series centered around Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon, and Melissa McBride's Carol Pelletier. According to the press release, AMC is also working with Gimple to develop a new Tales of the Walking Dead. So we talked about that. What that means is stories from characters of the past, characters who may have died, characters who we may have only heard of, or characters who may have left the show but are not dead. You could categorize Michonne in that. You could categorize even Rick in that. You could categorize Shane, Negan, anyone, just about anyone. As long as they're not in the fourth show and they're not in the movies, they could do something with them in the Tales of the Walking Dead. And the only reason I'm including Rick, actually I don't know, because they could do it so that they do like a Tales of the Walking Dead for a character that's also in the movie. They could do something like that as well. They're not constrained to just doing it for characters that are not in the movies. But they probably can't do it for the characters that are on the show, on the fourth show. And the reason for that is housekeeping items. And what I mean by that is contracts and when they're going to film and whether they're going to be able to make it work for their schedule. Things like that. So yeah, they continue to say backstories or other standalone experiences. The company, working closely with Gimple, is also developing a number of other Number of other new and initiative. Okay, I'm going to read that again. I butchered that sentence. Is also developing a number of other new and innovative projects grounded in the Walking Dead universe. So all of that is related, but it's just the theme is different. So if you're talking about Tales of the Walking Dead, the theme is a little different than if you're doing something else. For example, the Red Machete thing. That's not really a Tales of the Walking Dead. That's just a backstory for the Red Machete. You know what I mean? So they could do things like that. The Walking Dead will air its 10th finale on Sunday, October 4th at 9 p.m., followed by the series premiere of Walking Dead's World Beyond at 10 p.m. Fear the Walking Dead will begin airing part of its 6th season starting the following Sunday, October 11th. Read the full press release below and let us know in the comments how you're reacting to this massive announcement. Let me see. There's more in below, so we're going to go through that. But I want to share a little bit of my thoughts here. So, yeah. So the Walking Dead's finale and World Beyond are going to be back to back. I want to talk about how I'm going to handle that on the channel. So I think the way I'm going to do it is probably not do both on the Sunday. I'm probably just going to do the Walking Dead reaction on Sunday and probably wait till the day after to do my reaction to World Beyond and my breakdown of whatever teaser trailer they release after the episode ends. That way, I think it'll work a lot better for not only me but you guys as well, because I don't want to flood you with all of these videos on a single day. And because it's late in the night, most people are not going to watch it till the day after anyway. The other part of it is the Sundays after that, we're going to see Fear and World Beyond back to back, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to handle that same as I talked about. So I'm going to probably on the Sunday do the World Beyond thing. So I'm going to react to World Beyond and even do the breakdown of the teaser trailer that they released. And then the day after, I'm going to do the same thing for Fear. So watch Fear, react to it, and then do my teaser trailer breakdown. Now, I know I said I'm not going to watch Fear live, and at this point, I don't know why I'm going to, but I mean, if there's nothing else to do, based on the news that I heard, and the fact that I'm probably going to be doing Fear after that, it makes sense for me to not really fall behind on that. So because of that, I'm going to continue doing what I do for Fear as far as the reactions and breakdowns go. But I'm probably not going to do a lot of Fear videos in the week. So that's that. So let me read the rest of this article. Let me see how long it is. There's actually a lot there. I can go through it quickly. I don't want to take too much time for that. I'll go through it and then we'll jump back into the comments and questions. The Walking Dead to conclude the expanded 2-year 11th season as Walking Dead universe continues to expand. Groundbreaking flagship series will be followed by spin-off focus on the Daryl Dixon and Carol Pelletier characters, run by current Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang and co-created by Angela Kang. Co-created by Kang and Scott Gimple. So the main showrunner is going to be Angela Kang, but it's going to be co-created by Scott Gimple and Angela Kang, which is interesting. AMC is also developing with Gimple a Tales of the Walking Dead. We read that one, so I'm not going to read it again. So I'm going to see what's new here. New York, September 9, 2020. AMC announced today that its groundbreaking series, The Walking Dead, which makes history as the highest rated series in the history of cable television and has given life to a vibrant and expanding content universe, will end with an expanded 2-year 11th season, blah, blah, blah. I'm just reading it in my head to see if there's anything new to talk about here. There are 30 remaining episodes of the flagship series that will run through late 2022. So 24 episodes of season 11, one episode for the finale of season 10, and 5 additional episodes that they revealed as part of season 10. That gives us 30 episodes, I think, if my math is right. Okay, that makes sense. Nothing new there, though. It's just a confirmation. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything new here. It seems like they just copied pasted what was above. So I don't think I'm going to read the rest of that. But what I am going to do is first bring my camera back, then take this away, then turn my camera on. I turned off my light. Let me know if the screen is too dark and I'll turn it back on, but it was getting too dark, so I just turned it off. So let me, okay, where did we leave off on the comments? How many new comments do we have? Not a lot of new comments, but Mario 3, I still think they will end CRM in last episodes in Mothership series. Once Commonwealth, Fear Group, Our Survivors unite, can they end them? Oh, I see where your head is at. That would be interesting. That would be interesting, actually. So basically, bring everything to one. So end Fear, but cross everyone into the main show, Mothership show. End World Beyond, but cross everyone over to the main show. And then have it be Walking Dead universe characters in a way versus CRM. They could do that. I'm just thinking there's two things to that. If they do that, the CRM won't be able to get to the 4th show or be a part of the 4th show. The other part, we don't know where the movies are going to be. Timeline wise, and also which would have aired, which wouldn't have aired. So they don't want to reveal too much. You know what I mean? So that's the other aspect of it. But I like where your head is at. I like that theory. We've been going for like an hour, but if everyone's good, we can go for another maybe 30 minutes or so. Mario 3, and if Commonwealth is as big as comics or bigger, there is a chance. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe Commonwealth sides with CRM. We don't know which side they're going to be on. Mario 3, I mean, if CRM has cargo helicopters, they will have tanks also. Probably. If they have jets, they're going to have or tanks. Mario Gimple said he wants a bigger crossover, and until think that makes sense is Rick connecting to it all right. Yeah, I mean, one way to connect it all is to have Rick unite everyone. That could be a great ending to the Mothership show. And who knows, maybe that's when we see the all-out war that you mentioned, or maybe that's where they're going to do the final movie. Something like that. And not all characters have to go. Like from Fear, we can have the main cast moving over or crossing over. From World Beyond, we can have the main cast crossing over. So it's not like you have 50 characters. It's like maybe 5 characters of Fear, 5 or 6. 5 or 6 of World Beyond. Main cast of The Walking Dead, plus maybe Rick and Michonne, without Daryl and Carol. Like, they probably would want to leave. They should probably leave to the 4th show before that. if they want to do something like that. Michonne can end up in Commonwealth. That's a possibility. She could be the big reunion. Yeah, absolutely. Anything's possible at this point. Maria 3, if she wants to come back. Yeah, if she wants to come back. That's key. Because Danai Guerra wants to do other things. That's the big thing. Maria 3, it just doesn't make sense that Commonwealth doesn't know about CRM. There's no chance. Yeah, I agree. For as big as both CRM and Commonwealth are, they have to have butt heads or come across one another. It's the only realistic way for it to go. Mario 3 CRM has just helicopters flying all over. Absolutely. Like, it wouldn't make sense for the CRM to be equipped, to be well equipped, and have all of these, equipment and expensive stuff like helicopters, jets, things like that, like assets like that. It doesn't make sense that they don't know about a community like Commonwealth. It just doesn't make sense. If anything, they probably stay away from them because they don't want to get involved in their crap. You know what I mean? Mario 3, my safety not assured. Absolutely. And I know I did that breakdown, but that kind of opens the door to so many other possibilities. That title or that thing alone, my safety not assured, which was in the trailer of World Beyond. Before that, I was like, it's probably like this, But now, it could be anything. You know what I mean? It could be just about anyone writing that. It's still a lot more likely that it is what I thought it was, that I talked about in the trailer breakdown, but it could be Rick. It could be Michonne. It could be, let's say, Daryl Dixon. That's a lie. It can't be, but you get what I mean. Mario 3, for me, it just confirms that Leo Bennett is probably not doing it willingly. Yeah, absolutely. I think I mentioned that in my breakdown as well. He cares about his people back home. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it seems like it was a cryptic message that was sent. Which means there may be more to that message than we think. Alright, there's 3 people on the chat. I don't have a lot to share. I did go through most of the article. We talked about the big stuff. We talked about what's coming up for the channel after that. We talked a lot about how the channel is going to be structured going forward, starting as early as 3 weeks from now. So we've talked about it all in a way. So if there's any questions that are coming up or questions you want to ask that I haven't answered, let me know. But we're going to go for another maybe 5 minutes. If there's nothing, then I'll end this stream. But stay tuned for my reaction to Season 4, Episode 12, which was a pretty big episode of Breaking Bad. I've recorded like episodes ahead, so I'm way ahead right now. But I will upload my reaction to Season 4, Episode 12 right after this stream is done. Tomorrow I'm going to do my breakdown of the new trailer that they released. I'm also going to post my reaction to the next episode for Breaking Bad. And throughout the week, I'm going to be doing like a highlight video for people who missed the stream. Because some people may have missed the stream, but they don't want to watch the stream, but they still want to know my thoughts. So they bring it up in question and answers, and it can't be answered quick. So I'm just gonna do like a highlight video where I pretty much take this video that I have here, chop it up, put bits and pieces that are the highlight, and release that as a standalone video. But yeah, we can go for another minute or two. If there's no questions, I'm gonna end the stream here. I see more people joined. Mario 3, you can do the trailer reaction here now if you didn't see it, and the breakdown tomorrow. Let me think. The thing is, the only reason I don't do it is because it'll be blocked. Even my breakdowns, I don't put the actual teaser. I do images. So, unless, let me think. Do we want to do like a live breakdown? And then I can chop it up or extract it, or like take it out and put it as its own video, or let me think. I might do that. But I'm just thinking, how's the audio gonna work? Because as soon as I bring the audio up, it's gonna be blocked. Unless I just like listen to it and you guys like won't hear anything, and I can pause the video, show the image, and go from there. That might be a little harder, but if people really want that, I could do that. I could definitely do that. We might have to take like a 15-minute break, but I might do that. Oh, and yeah, it might make sense. I might do like a 15-minute break. I'm gonna like take the images that I need, screen cap it, everything, and then talk about it live, and then upload it after. We can do that as well. Let me see how many people want that. How many people are interested in a live trailer breakdown? By the way, I have seen the trailer. I didn't listen to it, but I did see it. So I don't know if a reaction would make sense, but I can do a breakdown, live breakdown. Halison, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Aryaho. I probably butchered that name, but yeah, Mario is one of the mods, so if a comment was removed, I assume there was a good reason for it. Like we have guidelines for the chat. Family friendly. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be rude to people. If you have a question, ask it. I'm gonna answer it. But yeah. Let me see. Mario 3, if you want to do it, sure, I'm all up for it. Yeah, we can do it, definitely. Let me see. Halasen, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Forgive me if I don't say your name right. But you say breakdown sounds like Ho-Ho Part 4. Not sure what that means. All right, so let's have people vote. There's 4 people in the chat. If I get 3 different people saying yes, they want to see a live breakdown, I will do it. We'll have a 15-minute break and then I'll do it. If we get less than 3 people saying yes, then I'm probably not going to do it. So here's the poll. Do you guys want to see a live breakdown? If you do, we'll do a 15-minute break, and then I'll come back, do the breakdown, and I'll take that and upload it as its own video afterwards. We might go for like a 30-minute break. Like a 30-minute break. But we'll see if people want it. There's 5 people now, which means that 4 people are gonna need to say yes. I'm just kidding. If 3 people want it, we'll do it. So just put a yes in the chat if you are interested in a live breakdown of the trailer that they released for World Beyond. We'll give guys like maybe 30 seconds to cast their votes in a way. Mario 3 says yes, that's 1. I can't react because the video is going to be blocked. This whole big stream is going to be blocked. And if it was just a live, I would have done it, but I don't want this whole video to be blocked. Breno Dovale, I am from Brazil. Welcome. I am in Canada. Thai War, yes, I want to see the live breakdown. So that's 2 people. Breno Dovale, hello bro, hello, how are you? Zach Dixon, TWD, do you think both The Walking Dead or the CRM and Commonwealth will both work together to build the future? We talked a little bit about that, but in a different context. We talked about whether we're going to see the Commonwealth and every one of our survivors from all these shows, except the 4th show, coming together to defeat the CRM, and I think that makes sense. But I don't think the CRM are a type of group that would unite with Commonwealth or anyone else to do anything for the future. They would do it for their own future, but, you know, not everyone else's. Zach Dixon TWD says yes as well, so that's 3 yeses. Mario 3, I don't think they will, at least for me, I don't think they will. They aren't a friendly type. No, they are absolutely not. So, yeah, we are going to... Don't leave. If you do, come back in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, let's say. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. Do I want to end this stream or keep it up and then come back? Like put a break and then come back. I can do both, but the reason I'm gonna say I'm gonna end this stream and start a new one is because I'm gonna have to set it up so you guys can see the images. So because of that, I'm gonna end the stream, but in 30 minutes come back and I'm gonna kind of start talking about the World Beyond breakdown live, and then upload that after. It's easier to upload afterwards as well if we do that. Let me see. What is the name of the man on the video? Can I bring some friends? Yeah, you can bring some friends to the live. What's the name of the man on the video? My name? My name is Ash. Okay, all right. So we will have like a 30-minute break. This stream will be done. I will do a separate stream where it will only be looking at World Beyond, the breakdown, and I will upload that separately as well. Actually, do I want to do that? Yeah, I will clean up the video and upload it separately because there might be a lot of gap in between. There might be a lot of pauses and things like that. So yeah, I'll kind of cut it up so that it's nice and sweet and upload it as its own video. But yeah, I will see, hopefully I'll see everyone back for the stream. I'm not leaving. I am leaving, but I'm going to come back on a separate stream though, because I'm going to end this stream. But I will see everyone in like 30 minutes. 35 minutes, let's say 35 minutes, and then we'll do the discussion breakdown for World Beyond. So check back in 35 to 40 minutes and we'll be back with the discussion breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon.